wanted to kickstart with one of my favorite topics, is scenario-based learning. And I personally see it as a really powerful tool to take what people know and apply it in an environment, in a context of using their skills and getting feedback.
I think in terms of when we should use scenario-based learning, I think we have to think about what all are we including in scenario-based learning. And I tend to define it very broadly, that I think that there's a lot of different ways that we can use scenarios in learning. Yes, we certainly, I love the branching scenarios and the simulations and the complex stuff. But the reality is that many times we might do smaller stories or little mini scenarios for assessments and do those things. I think in much of corporate training, workplace training, that scenarios can help in some way with a lot of workplace training. Anytime, especially where we have critical thinking or strategic skills, places where we need people to make decisions and to have nuance. Those are all places where giving people scenario-based practice activities so they can practice making the decisions in a relevant context, that's really important. If we're talking about, software training and it's straight up procedural, we just need you to click these 5 things in this order, we probably don't need a scenario for that. But if it is a more complex software thing where you need some context of, well, how would I use this feature? Then having some sort of scenario of, well, this is the situation.
Nowadays, our skills overlap. It's a combination, and we don't just apply it in isolation. We have an environment, we have a problem that we're solving. And I think that's where it becomes very powerful. You can wrap it around that scenario, around a particular problem that a learner has to address.
That's part of why scenarios can improve learner engagement. And sometimes when people talk about engagement, they mean how many times did somebody click on something? And that is a part of it, right? Physically interacting with it and clicking is one dimension. But it's also a question of the emotional engagement of, do you care about this? Are you motivated? Does this align with the things that are valuable and important to you? There's also a question of cognitive engagement. Plenty of e-learning and training in general can be very superficial, where we're really just looking at kind of knowledge and understanding and not, can you apply it? Can you think critically about it? And cognitive engagement requires thinking deeper, and we can use scenarios to provide those opportunities for deeper thinking. The writing the scenario and having it be relevant makes a difference for engagement.